what I'm gonna do is I've got player A and player B,
Okay.
and I've got a list of stats. It's basically a blind resume test. So, and what this is supposed to do is, it's supposed to accentuate like all the good qualities of these two people. Now we don't. There are going to be some things that we leave out, that we omit, because again, like the Love Is Blind show, you're not going to come out and say that like you have actually, you have crippling student debt, or you're crazy, or whatever, or you have dad issues. Like, you're not going to say that. You only show the good parts, right? So I'm gonna give you stats, just stats comparing player A to player B. You tell me which one is more attractive to you, which list of stats is more attractive to you, and then we will reveal who those players are after you pick one or the other.
All right. So we starting right now?
Let's start one. Well, yeah. Well, I guess better now than never. This is a. I want to give a shout out to Andy Bailey too, who's a guy who we've had on the show in the past. I don't know if you were with him, but we'll have him on again at some point. He does this a lot, and he'll do a Twitter poll or something. This one actually comes from him. The other 4 come from us specifically. This one comes from him. This is a really good one. So we'll start here. This is Love Is Blind.
Player.
Not guess the player. Don't guess the player. Just which group of stats. If you had to pick player A or player B that you could have on your team, which one would you want, or which one do you think is the better player? So we'll start here with our first example of Love Is Blind NBA edition. Let's get the graphic up, guys. Here, player A. Okay, this is, by the way, per 75 possessions, Scal. Player A is 51.7 points. And points per assist. So basically total points that they generate for a game. Player A, 51.7. They have 8 rebounds a game, 2.3 three-pointers a game, 1.3 steals, a half a block, and a net rating of plus 10.6. Okay, that's player A. Player B, same exact criteria, 75 possessions. They have 49.6 total generated points, so points plus points per assist, 13 rebounds a game, 1.6 threes per game, 1.2 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, and a plus 17.1 net rating scale. Player A or player B? Who are you in love with?
This is this year, by the way?
This year, yep.
This year. I'm going to go with player B.
Okay.
Because
well, that's
rebounds, blocks, and net rating. Those are the ones that stand out more. So I'll go player B. I'm assuming player B is Ben Simmons.
Oh, no. You want to take a guess? So that's your one guess on player B?
Ben Simmons.
Any other guesses?
It
is not Ben Simmons. It is not Ben Simmons. Nope.
Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
One of each. Player A is is in one conference, and player B is in the other conference.
Is one of them Jimmy Butler?
Nope, but I love where your head's at. No, let me just give it to you here. Scal, right. Player A is LeBron James. Player B is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, wow. So these stats are... Go back. Oh, okay. I got screwed up. It was you said 75 possessions, not 100 possessions,
75.
Right?
Yep, 75.
I screwed that up. Because I look at those numbers as like, okay. Wow, that's impressive, man. LeBron is responsible for 51 points every 75 possessions?
Yeah, I mean, Giannis is responsible for basically 50, so it's not like it's that far.
No,
off.
I know, but I understand that Giannis, because he dominates when he's out there. LeBron, I feel like he's not as dominant because Giannis plays like 30 minutes and gets like 30 and 20. It's crazy. That's interesting.
Well, I think the interesting
part of this doesn't tell you anything. I'll take both of them. Jeez.
No. This is like if you had to marry one of these players, player A or player B, Scal, you married player B. You married Giannis over LeBron. And this is what I wanted to do because of yesterday's conversation about the MVP and all of that stuff. Because I do think that we make a big deal about LeBron and this whole thing of, he's leading the league in assists, which is obviously super impressive. But if you do points generated, like it's not that far off. Like Giannis, based on what he scores, is actually pretty damn close to what LeBron generates as well.
Sure.
And I wanted to bring this up too as part of this argument. And I saw a few people floating this out on Twitter. Why does LeBron's age have anything to do with him being well? That shouldn't have anything to do with him being the MVP or not. Like the age has nothing to do with this comp. Like it's impressive that LeBron is doing it.
That's human nature.
Fair, but it really shouldn't have anything to do with it, right? Like it's impressive that he's doing this at 35, but that isn't like that isn't a notch in LeBron's belt in the MVP thing. It's just, who do you think is having the better season?
So is averaging a triple-double a notch in the belt?
What
if it was 29, 9, and 9? That's not that big of a difference. Whatever.
No.
80 rebounds in a season, 80 assists in a season over the course of, what is it? 103, 8,200 possessions in the season, offensive possessions in a season, and you're breaking it down to 1% more. So is a triple-double mean it's an automatic MVP vote? Because we clearly understand that happened. And by the way, Kevin Durant leaving Oklahoma City, does that fall into the vote? And by the way,
yes, it does.
Russell Westbrook it was the first MVP that wasn't in the top 2 or top 3 in the conference since 1969 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So the first time someone's won the MVP where they weren't top 3 in their conference, Russell Westbrook. Yeah. And I think it's because he averaged a triple-double and because Kevin Durant left.
Yeah, and you're right. That was part of, I think, what propelled him to get that MVP. But I don't get, if you want to give LeBron the MVP, you want to vote for him because it's of his season, that's fine. I'm just not sure why him being 35 should weigh into that. And I think it will. You're right. Subconsciously for people and LeBron people, I'm sure that it will weigh in. People be like, oh, look at he's doing it at 35. It's so impressive. I don't know. I just don't think it should have a part in that conversation.
What do you think about West versus East? That was my beef last year. Why I thought Harden was so good, because doing it in the Western Conference is a beast. Doing it in the East,
crazy. You know what's crazy about that, though, is that there are some numbers. I just saw this last night. Let me bring it up because I know the tweet. Hold on one sec. It was from NBA Math. Hold on. Stall for a second, Scal, because there are some stats.
Here, I'll do a 5-hour energy feed.
No. Hold on. I got it right here. No, I got it right here. Oh, yes. So this is from NBA Math on Twitter. That you could actually argue Giannis has been better against the West than LeBron has been against the West this season. So Giannis against the – why not?
The same. That's like comparing the some team that plays Boise State, who plays in the Big West, all of a sudden to go plays SEC one time versus lining them up every single night.
Well, there's a wear and team.
But but you don't play every team 4 times. There's a wear and tear that occurs being in the Western Conference. It's nice for Giannis to play 30 minutes and dominate the statistical categories that he does, because the East is so bad. The bottom half of the East is so bad. So if everyone played the exact same schedule, then I would say that argument is out. But if there must be, it's just look at just lining up and playing those teams out West. Talk about the best players. Where are they located? To me, they're mostly out West. So I factor that in, even though I would still vote for Giannis as the MVP. No one works his minutes like that guy. He's unbelievable being in there, playing hard, impacting the game, getting to the bench, coming back in. LeBron sometimes doesn't do that. You see the full court passes to Anthony Davis. I'm going to take this possession off. LeBron does a little bit of that. I don't sense that with Giannis. He doesn't take off shit. Not defensively, not offensively, not when a guy is ahead of him and he's not going to get it, but he gets dunked on because he's running down whoever. LeBron doesn't do that. He's I'm not going to get dunked on and get embarrassed. Yep. Giannis doesn't care. So because of all those things, I do think he's the MVP. My point is, it's not as much of a landslide, using your terms, not mine, as
hold on. Yeah. I'm glad you guys called me out for that, because I'm wrong. It's not a landslide. That was a wrong choice of words for me. But again, I do think he's a heavy favorite. I think LeBron can still potentially catch him, but it would take I think they'd have to win right around where the Lakers would have to win around where the Bucks games are. They'd have to win close to 70. Although after that loss last night, it seems less likely. I think they only have a 22 or 20-ish% chance to now win 70 games, because they could only lose 3 more games the rest of the year. I think LeBron can do it, but it would take an epic end of this season, and Giannis would have to fall off a little bit. I just don't see that happening. So you're right. Landslide. Totally wrong choice of words, but I do think Giannis heavy favorite. And if it ended today, I think it would be kind of a blowout in a way. But let's do this, because we've got more.
It ain't going to be unanimous because LeBron got his puppets at ESPN.
Yeah, well,
so there's no doubt about that.
We don't have to name them. But yes, we do know who those puppets are. All right, I got 4 more Love is Blinds here for you. Want to do the next one here? Let's get the music back up. This is Love is Blind NBA edition number 2. Okay, this is per 100 possessions here, Scal. So the first one was 75. The rest of them are more 100. I'll tell you like what the parameters are for each one. This is per 100 possessions. Player A, 30.1 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists. He's shooting 59% from the field and 42% from three, a net rating of plus 11.1. That's player A. Player B, per 100 possessions, 27.6 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, shooting 51% from the field and 32% from three, net rating of plus 6.1.
So I know how this is going to go. Player B is going to be better than player A, or you wouldn't have done this. But obviously, I'd be stupid not to take player A because of so many positive things. There's no reason not to take A over B. But I think B is going to be the player that I want once I pull back the curtain.
All right, well, let me just correct this, by the way. Thanks, Jake, for pointing this out. This was actually per 36 minutes, not 100 possessions, per 36 minutes. But you are correct. So here is player A. Player A is Zion Williamson. Player B is Anthony Davis, Scal.
Player A, player B. Yeah, I would take AD, but that's a good comparison. Dude, I'd be happy either way. Come on.
Yeah,
If I had to marry one of those two guys, I can't believe I'm saying that. But either way, you're good.
You'd be a happy man.
You're good for the future. It's amazing. Hey, I'll tell you what. History is funny. Imagine where New Orleans would be as an organization if they didn't win the lottery. It's not like they were a heavy favorite to win it either.
It's weird because without Zion, we look at the Anthony Davis trade as such a major win, but you can't look at them getting Zion too. Like obviously, Brandon Ingram is an all-star now, and Lonzo Ball looks better, Josh Hart's good, and they've got picks or whatever, and that looks nice. But we're not talking about the Pelicans unless they get Zion, and they didn't get Zion in that trade. So it's I feel like people like automatically kind of assume that Zion was included in that trade, and he was not.
Yeah. I think I would. What? Yeah. If I'm trying to win a championship, obviously, but I wonder how many people in the world after this season's over would take AD over Zion. Like moving forward. Like this year, I think you have to take AD, no doubt. And it's not like AD is old or anything like that, but Zion has star power. He's fun. He's just a great player to build your organization around.
Yeah, how soon are we going to see Zion as a top 15 to 10 player in the league? I think it might be sooner than you think. Probably, right? Probably, yeah. Well, that's why we had that MVP conversation.
He'll get voted in probably ahead of Anthony Davis, which is crazy. It's just like it's the newest thing, the new shiny toy or whatever. But
yeah,
like Zion, I'd be surprised if he does not get voted in. If he just maintains where he's at, or even drops off a little bit, which is fine. I'd be surprised if he's not voted into the All-Star game this year.
All right, let's do it. I got three more left here. This might be my favorite one. This one, Scal, is per 100 possessions. Okay, player A, 29 points per game, 9.6 rebounds per game, 8.8 assists, shooting 45% from the field, 25% from three, 2.4 steals, and a net rating of plus 5.7. That's player A. Player B, again, this is 100 possessions, 22.7 points per game, so significantly less points per game, but 10.6 rebounds per game, 11.1 assists, shooting 59% from the field, 33% from three, 2.9 steals, but a net rating of a little lower, just plus 2.2. Who you like, player A or player B, Scal?
Oh man, I guess I would take player B just because of I'm going to like player B more than I like player A. Just my style, but I guarantee player A is better. Go.
This is why this is my favorite one. Scal, player A is Jimmy Butler. Player B is your boy Ben Simmons.
Okay. How is he 33% from three? What is he, 1 for 3 on the year?
I think so. Yeah, that's about it. So that's why these things. That's why the blind resume. Hey, Scal, this is blind love, dude. If you don't shoot threes, you're only 1 for 3, and you're gonna beat sales 101 like they did in The Office. Like you gotta put forward your best stats. Hey, he's shooting 33% from three.
Yeah.
That's why in a blind resume, that's total BS. But on paper, it's like, oh, this guy's shooting 33% from three. That's not that bad. Jimmy Butler only shooting 25%. But yeah, I think most people would take Jimmy Butler in this scenario. But the stats here would tell you, actually, Ben Simmons, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, but if Ben Simmons is playing power forward, if they had a more organized guard, if they were, it's just like Ben Simmons can be good. He's just not good with Philly this season. We're going to close the book on Ben Simmons this year. We're going to close the book on the Philadelphia 76ers, but we'd be stupid to write those guys off in the future. No way are we doing that.
All right, I got two more left here for you. Do you want to do them really quickly now, or do you want to hold them for a little bit later?
Oh, do them.
All right, let's do the next one. So two more left here. Let me just bring it up. Hold on one sec. Okay, this is player A versus player B in our NBA Love is Blind. Player A, 22 points per game. This is 5.1 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists. He's shooting 33% from three, 1.9 stocks, so blocks and steals, and an on-off split of plus 2.2. Player B is averaging 20.5 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 6.2 assists, shooting 38% from three, 1.4 block steals, and an on-off split of minus 2.5. Scal, player A or player B?
Oh, yeah, I'm playing player A. Player B's got flaws. Something wrong with player B.
Player A. Now, these stats, I can't believe. This is unbelievable. Player A is actually Andrew Wiggins. Player B is Jaylen Brown, Scal.
Jaylen Brown's a negative 2.5 on-off? On-off? So when he's off the floor? Yeah. All right. That's weak. This is so weak.
This is why.
That's so weak.
This is why this is hilarious. We just somehow tricked you into taking Andrew Wiggins over Jaylen Brown.
I know.
All right, last one here. Last one before we get into Caron Butler. This is probably the staff's favorite. This is a great one. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just going to do this. These are raw numbers. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll tell you which one. Just show me. I'll tell you which one.
These are raw numbers. All right, player A, 12.4.
I got it. All right, I got it. Hold on. I'll be.
Well, I got for the people that are listening, Scal. Let me just read them up because the people that are listening
go ahead.
know. Player A, 12.4 points per game, just over 8 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 39% field goal percentage, 2.1 blocks and steals per game. Played 11 years in the league. Player B is 11.7 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 4 assists, shooting 43% from the field, 1.8 blocks and steals, and has played 13 years in the league. Player A or player B, Scal?
One of these is Marc Gasol, right?
No.
All right. I'm thinking B. Is one of them Al Horford?
Player B is Al Horford, Scal. You nailed that one. Player B is Al Horford. Those are Al Horford's raw stats this year. You know who player A is? Any idea? Any guesses?
No.
Player A is your entire career, 100 possessions, compared to Al Horford's stats this year.
That's not good for Al Horford.
I know.
My numbers aren't that bad, man. Holy smokes.
Yeah, maybe it's good for you, Scal. You could be given the Sixers some production throughout your career. You might be better than this year's version of Al Horford.
Wait. These are raw numbers? They can't be his raw numbers.
Those are your per 100 possessions. So the idea is that if you got the adequate playing time, you would be able to put up similar numbers to what Al Horford is putting up this year. Throughout your career. Now,
this is not good for Al. Oh man, this is good, man. Can you imagine if someone pulled back the curtain and saw me there? I'd be so disappointed.
I think it would be hilarious. I think you should. I
think my net rating is. You should have. My net rating has got to be really strong. Really.
We got to find Scal's net rating. Career net rating. We'll find that after the break. Let's do that.
It's got to be. It's got to be good.
All right.
Every time I play, we won, man. Every time.
That's right.